today I'm giving you very much raw. And as you guys can see by the thumbnail, this is going to be a very good makeup look. I love a naked smoky brown, but I just want to add a little bit of pop of color. And I'm going to tell you guys how I'm going to achieve this look. I hope you guys continue to watch and learn. So after molding her eyebrows, now it's time to fill it in. And I'll be going in with little strokes just to make her eyebrow enhance but remain natural arched. If you guys had any questions about trying out the dual lash glue method of laying down those eyebrow hairs, if it's a little bit hard for you to fill it in, what I like to do is just get my finger and just scratch her eye, just so it can be more easier for the pencil to glide against the glue, because sometimes I understand the glue may be a little bit tacky. But if you do not want to do all that, just do the eyebrows how you regularly do it, but right after, just go in with some dual lash glue on top of their brows so they can have a long lasting brow, and also just to lay down those eyebrow hairs. Pencil used today was the Brow Stylist Definer by L'Oreal in the shade Dark Brunette. And now we'll go in to conceal her brows. And I went with the Born This Way concealer in the shade Chestnut. I want you guys to understand that when it comes to makeup, everything is a process. So sometimes things are not going to be as perfect, but you're going to make your way to it being the way you will love it to be. So in the beginning, you guys can see the eyebrows are very uneven. One is bigger than the other one. Sometimes they look crazy. But when you're concealing, a conceal is basically like a erase. You're fixing up all the edges, you're straightening up all the edges, and it will be perfectly fine. Now to shape up the top of her eyebrow, I'll be going in with her foundation shade from NARS Longwear Foundation in the shade Macao. So when you are concealing the bottom of their brow, go in with the concealer that's at least 1 or 2 shades lighter than their original skin tone. And on the top of their brow, make sure you go in with their foundation shade just to avoid a halo eyebrow. Now it's time to set those lids, and I went in with the Airspun translucent powder. You can get it from CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, and this is just to help with prepping that eyelid to avoid any creasing when it comes to the eyeshadows. And I went in with a bronzer from Morphe, and this is in the shade Prodigy, and I went with this dark smoky brown just to pop on to her lid. Now it's time for our foundation, and I like to apply my client's foundation on like this. I like to build up their coverage, only because if I go in with too much, I don't want to take that risk for the foundation being a little bit too heavy on the skin. Off camera, I primed her skin with the Milk Grip Primer. I want you guys to go get that from Sephora. I love the primer so much because it helps the client's foundation stick to their face, and it's also very hydrating to the skin. more, I popped her on some lashes on top of her lash extensions. I just wanted to tell you guys, listen, Miami girls, we love a thick lash. We love lashes that are like big and bold. I know other places probably don't really like it or favor it, but we like the big lashes, girl. We just love to fly away. So basically, I topped those on off camera, and then I went with her contour shade. This is from the e.l.f. Camo concealer, and you guys can always substitute a concealer for a contour shade. It's at least 1 or 2 shades darker than her original skin tone. I just want to shout out to the Raw Babes. I love the Raw Babes. Raw Babes for life, per. But, okay, so y'all, I know the Raw Babes who have been riding with me since the wheels gonna fall off, riding with me forever. Listen, Lashay is falling in love with how buttery and how full coverage it has been since I've been using a brush for concealer. I know you guys are like, Lashay, what about the Beauty Blender? I still go back to the Beauty Blender here and there just to blend out the edges of everything. But lately, using a Real Technique brush has been it. You know, it's just been it right now. And I just love the coverage that it builds onto my clients. So you guys are asking me, Lashay, your work is looking even more bomb. What's going on? I'm changing my techniques because I hate to stay in one spot. And also, like, that's what's been the difference. I've been using a brush to blend out my concealer, and I see what y'all been talking about because it's just raw. A bright under eye concealer is very optional. It depends on the type of MUA you are. If you do mainly very natural looks, it's okay. But my type of glams, I have a signature glam, and I love my girls in Miami to look like walking filters and to look like a Barbie. contour, I went in with Rich Ebony from the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and also for the Deep Olive shade from the Hydrating e.l.f. Concealer. And that was to top off and add a little bit more pop underneath her eye. And then I began to set her face. I set it with some Laura Mercier in the shade Honey. And I love Laura Mercier powders. I feel like it's so airbrushed. And then I also went in with the same shade, Prodigy, what I used for her cheeks and for her powder contour, her forehead, and also underneath her jawbone, just to make everything look snatched and put together. And to go on with her blush, I went with my Morphe AD palette for my blush. And let me tell you guys, if you guys follow me on Instagram at LashaysGlamz, sometimes I go live stream here and there. You guys will see tutorials. You guys can see shopping with me. And I'm going in Sephora and Ulta. And we discovered the other day in Morphe in Miami that they discontinued the Morphe 8D palette. And y'all know I was going crazy over that palette. I'm going to see if I have to order some online. But in store, they discontinued it. And I was so sad. So now they have it to where you have to buy the individual ones, other than the ones where it's just all in one palette. So that's a little depressing, but we're going to always make a way. Snatched the structure of her features, I went in with the Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Deep, and also to pop underneath her eyes just to avoid any fallout, I went with the Sacha Buttercup, and also just to keep that under eye very bright. For the pop of color underneath her eye, I went with the P. Louise base, and it was like in a dark orange color. And I just began to put that underneath her waterline, and just to smoke it out a little bit, I went with that same Prodigy shade, what we did for her lids, just to smoke out the bottom of her eye. This is the part where I'm just looking at my work and I'm like, yo, my girls look like Barbies. Like, they look like brats. And it's just giving what it's supposed to give. Why use a filter when they already look like a filter? Y'all better get together with this technique. Y'all better look at these videos step by step and get into it. But most definitely, this is my favorite part when they're baking and I'm doing the lips. I lined up her lips with a dark brown from the Ruby Kisses. You can get that from the hair store. It's only $2. Girl, go get that Ruby Kisses. But another lip liner that is similar, that gives me the same effect and very easy to glide along the lips, is in the shade Trendsetter from the Morphe Lip Liner. They're running out, so I can tell you guys your best bet is just to go to the hair store and load up on the Ruby Kisses lip liner. And to top it off, I went with the Morphe nude pinkish tone, and that's right in the center of her lips, and that's in the shade Virgin. And just to pop off her lips, I went in with a lip gloss from Broadway, also from the hair store, for $2, period. So we was doing little TikToks throughout this YouTube video filming, but I had to dim the lights a little bit just so you guys can see her true complexion. When there's so many lights in the studio, y'all, I have so many lights in the studio. When there's so many studio lights in the studio, it can be a little bit deceiving. I want you guys to see the true skin, and the true tone of her skin is so beautiful. I love the melanin skin. It goes so beautiful, like, and smooth. I just love it. But basically, I began to go on with the NW55 shade. This is her exact skin tone, and I just blended out the structure of her features with it just to set the remaining of her face to avoid any transfer when she is going home to get dressed or whatever. But also, this Studio Fix powder gives a very smooth finish. It brings a filtered look. And also, with even blending underneath her eyes, I went with the lighter pressed powder just to keep that under eye bright, and I went with the NW45. Before you set your client face, make sure you go in and fix what little mistakes you have to fix before you all close it in with that setting spray. So I went with the Morphe setting spray, and it's one of my favorite setting sprays of all time. I can say a recommended setting spray I want you to get is either Morphe, Milani, or e.l.f. setting spray. It's perfect. And look at that skin when I'm spraying her down. You have to drown your clients. Drown them. You want their face to be on for a long time. You want them to call you and text you and be like, girl, my makeup stayed on all night in the club, and I'm finna wear it tomorrow for brunch. You want to, make your glam be convenient. The mascara I used for this look was from Born This Way. Their mascara is so raw. I didn't have to do too much to her bottom lashes, and it already was popping. And also, I went with the Gold Deposit shade from MAC. I love their highlighters, and it was just giving. And make sure when you are messing up with the mascara, sometimes it likes to transfer on the bottom of their eyes. Just get a Q-tip and then just fix it up, and you're done. Yes, ladies, that was a naked beat, but with a pop of color and a pop of a little something. This is a very snatched naked beat, a very beautiful transformation. She looks gorgeous. If you guys want to see any more looks, make sure you comment down below and let me know what you want to see me post next. Also, make sure you follow me on every platform, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at LashaysGlamz. Make sure you tell a friend that this is the page where you learn all the gems. And if you guys are new to this channel, welcome to the Raw Babes family. And we are having fun over here. We're learning everything in this industry. If you guys have an upcoming makeup business, if you guys want to book one-on-one courses, just make sure you follow my Instagram and you can get information about any appointments or booking one-on-one classes. If you guys love this tutorial. Make sure you click the big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. And I would love for you guys to comment down below with fire emojis. Raw Babes for Life. Thank you guys for looking at this video. Thank you so much. Raw Babes for Life, I thank you so much. Mwah.